PlayStation Showcase. So as we hinted at, PlayStation is going to be having a massive showcase Thursday, September 9th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which I believe is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Sid Schumann at the blog said that this is going to look into the future of PS5. The showcase will weigh in at about 40 minutes and include updates from PlayStation Studios and some of the industry's most imaginative developers for games releasing this holiday and beyond. One thing to note, PlayStation VR won't make an appearance this time, but there's plenty of great PS5 games from developers large and small. Adam, how big do you think this is going to be on a scale of a E3 showing to just sort of a state of play? Where do you think this is going to fall?
Probably somewhere in the middle. I don't think this is going to be a massive show. The more and more I think about it, the more that I'm like, okay, we know God of War is going to be there. Mm-hmm. Pretty good shot. Like, we might see like a Last of Us factions. You know, there's a lot of rumors like Infamous might be there. Some people are thinking like Spider-Man might be showing up. There's a lot of things that could be there, but nothing really set in stone. I think there's a surprise or two that we aren't expecting, but I'm not going to sit here and think it's going to be like, you know, some over-the-top E3 level conference where we're like sitting here being like, I can't believe that thing is coming out. Like, holy hell. There's stuff I'd like to see. Like, I'd like to see some Hogwarts Legacy gameplay. I'd like to see some Final Fantasy 16 gameplay. Like, there's a few things I'd love to see if they exist. But at this point, I'm going in with it just being like, just be better than a state of play and I'll be happy at this point. Like, I just want something to look forward to that isn't, you know, some indie game that, in all honesty, I'm not going to play unless it's free on PlayStation Plus, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm of the opposite. I think this is going to be a blowout 1-2 punch kind of thing for Sony. Once again, I know I am a fanboy through and through, and so I'm naturally going to think that. But the fact that we haven't had anything super big or exciting kind of be announced from PlayStation for a while, it's kind of like it's a bit of a. And so I think if they come out now that all of E3's, Gamescom, all those things are the way. This is, I think, what Sony's been waiting for. Is they've been waiting for the dust to settle, and now their turn to come and steal the spotlight. So I do think it's going to be, I mean, not consistently, but I think it's going to be massive game after massive game after massive game announcement. Do I think all the rumors and all the suggestions that people think are going to be coming are going to come through? No, but I do think that we're going to get a huge roadmap of what the next, not just 6 or 8 months, but what the next 18 months are probably going to look like at PlayStation.
Yeah, like there's always a chance that maybe, Uncharted comes out with its next big thing, because that's been a rumor for a while now. Like, there's a lot of potential. It's just a matter of how much of it's going to be there or how much of it just doesn't have anything to show off yet, so it's something down the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so how do you want to go through this? I figured we could kind of give our predictions of what we expect. Do you just want to randomly share some expectations and some guesses and predictions? Do we want to just address some of the rumors, or do we want to kind of go through what I was thinking we could do is I could list the studios. You tell me if you think they're going to be there, and if so, what are they showing?
Let me pull up my Sony studio list then.
I've got it here for you.
Well, I'm going to need to remember I don't remember what all of them do. Come on now. I'm not that much of a Sony boy.
Well, neither do I. I just have it set up. So the first one's off the top of, like, I guess we can go that route. I think one of the surefire, like, let's get the fact out of the way. Horizon Forbidden West, it'll be there. It's going to be shown. That's fine. So let's get Guerrilla out of the way. Like, Guerrilla's already done. Housemarque, maybe we'll see some DLC for Returnal, but I doubt it. How do you want to do this? Do you want to do studios, or do you want to do just some speculation?
I mean, let's just do some speculation, because, I mean, realistically, we know what we think we're going to get into.
Mm-hmm. So let's start with the first one. Do you think Infamous is going to be at this conference?
I think it will be. It's just a matter of whether it's a new one or if it's just taking the collection and bringing it back, like just giving it a fresh coat of paint.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure what it would be. It would make more sense that they'd be giving a remaster collection, but you never know. There might be an actual new game coming as well.
Yeah, it could be. I think that's a very good point, because at the moment, there is no way to play the first 2 original Infamous games except on the PS3. Like, they're not available through PS4 collections or anything. And so the only Infamous game they have on the PS4 and the Hypto Fact of the PS5 is the original one. Or sorry, is the Second Son. So I think more than likely a remake is possible, or like not a remaster, like a remaster. Yeah, sorry, not a remake. But do I think we'll see a new Infamous game? I don't know. I don't think so, because like Sucker Punch has been pretty busy with Ghost of Tsushima. That I don't imagine, or sorry, yeah.
I mean, they could always pull off a cinematic trailer at that point, but you never know.
Yeah, but are they gonna? Do you think they're gonna go back to that, or do you think this? Like, I don't know who else would make it. Like, the only thing I can see is if they got something like Ben Studio making an Infamous game.
I can't imagine that though either. No.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd love to see another Infamous game. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I definitely think a remaster is gonna happen. I think we're gonna definitely see a Gran Turismo. I think that's been kind of talked about for a while. Gran Turismo's easy,
and you don't even need to show gameplay really. Like everybody knows what it's gonna be, so.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally just show fancy footage of fancy cars, and people are like, "Yep, that looks like Gran Turismo."
Yep. In terms of Santa Monica, is this where we get the cinematic story trailer for God of War 2? God of War Ragnarok?
No, I think we'd actually get some gameplay this time.
Oh, you think we're gonna get some gameplay?
I mean, we've already had a trailer once, so.
We didn't get a trailer?
I thought we had a trailer at some point.
No, it was. I think
I
it
thought
was
like
just like
way back there was just like a quick like cinematic trailer saying that it existed.
Well, I think there was like a teaser where it was just the Omega God of War symbol, and it turned blue, and I think it said Ragnarok. But I think that's the extent of the trailer.
I'm thinking it's also a big show, and that's kind of the expectation. So I could almost see them popping up with like at least like just some sort of fighting in there.
Mm-hmm. Naughty Dog. What do you think we get from Naughty Dog?
I want there to be an Uncharted 5 announcement, but I feel like if anything, we're probably just going to hear about Last of Us 2 Factions. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Factions, and I think Factions is going to be bigger than a lot of people think it's going to be. I think Factions is going to become almost a standalone game in and of itself.
I kind of would be curious about that too, because I like the idea of what that setting is. I just can't get behind the single player games. So maybe a multiplayer thing would be something that would help me get into it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're going to see Naughty Dog with Factions, and maybe a teaser for sort of a standalone or not a standalone DLC, but a DLC like we did with what was the one that with Ellie? But it wasn't American Waste. What was the one?
You ain't gonna get that out of me. I'm not the Last of Us guy.
Oh, that's right. You don't have taste in games. That's right. Anyways, we're gonna have probably like a small story DLC for Last of Us Part 2. Do you think we see anything from Media Molecule?
I hope not. Honestly, I think that ship sailed. To be honest,
do you think there's a chance we're going to see Dreams come out to them?
I don't know, unless they're just desperately trying to get us to buy it.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've heard Spider-Man remakes. Do we think that Spider-Man's going to be at this show?
I'd say it's like a 5% chance. That's like a surprise at the end. I think if anything, I would not imagine it's going to be ready yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm of the same mind. I think it's too early for that one. They just finished, Ratchet and Clank. They're probably just kind of starting to ramp up full speed in terms of working on Spider-Man. Housemark, I think we'll probably get some DLC for Returnal. That's pretty much been their big game of the year. Now, I'm going to throw in a crazy one. Astro's Playroom. Do you think that one is going to get a new game? Because that game was really small, but became very popular. Do you think we're going to see another Astro's Playroom kind of thing?
I say yes, but not here. I don't think we're there yet.
No?
I think it's something that they've probably kicked around the idea of. I don't know if they're going to do it yet.
See, I think that's like a perfect game for because Sony has such a legacy in terms of its franchises and stuff, and it had those little Easter eggs throughout, and I thought that would be a good way to kind of pay homage to that again. Is have play up on those things, have Astro kind of explore different variations of those games. I think that'd be really neat.
Yeah, as a lot of people said when it came out, it ended up being a really good if Mario was on a PlayStation game. So it'd be a great idea for them to go further with it and make an actual game out of it that isn't just a free demo essentially on every console. But like I said, I love the idea, and I do think it's something they probably will do because I think there's enough outpouring of positivity from that game. I just don't know if this is it yet. I don't think they're gonna have it show if they're gonna do it, I think this is something we're like a couple of years out on still.
Yeah. Last one I'm thinking that we're probably going to see is we're probably going to see that Metal Gear Solid remaster remake. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm hoping for that too. That'd be pretty cool to see.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it feels like an impossibility because your brain just goes Kojima's like a mile away from Konami to the point that like take the classic scene where two people are looking at each other from across the ocean. Like that's essentially Kojima and Konami right now. So just the thought of a Metal Gear game in any capacity, whether it's a remake or a new one, just seems so outlandish to me. So like I want it to be there, and my brain just goes, no, there's no way. But every time there's some evidence, it's like, well, maybe, and then my brain goes, no, it's Metal Gear. Stop living that dream.
So, I mean, no offense, but Kojima would have nothing to do with a Metal Gear remake because the script and the game are done. They don't really need him or his blessing. It's really
I know. It feels so like out there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really hoping that that's a thing. Like I said, I've never played nor really gotten the hype for Metal Gear. So I think if a remake / remaster comes out, I think that's going to be my good effort to get into this because I know a lot of people really like that one, and I think the fact that I missed that was part of the reason why. What about Bend? What do you think Bend has been up to? Because like the last thing they did was Days Gone, which was I think 2016.
I mean, they should be doing something. So I mean, it probably is some sort of new IP. I mean, look. I know there's some people that like it, but there should never be a Days Gone 2 unless they found a way to completely overhaul that game to the point that it's like undeniable, but I don't see it. So I feel like they'll be doing something different.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I played Days Gone. I actually like Days Gone. Like Days Gone is not as bad of a game as it got, but it is the weaker. It is one of the weaker of the PlayStation exclusives, and I don't know if there's a huge rush or clamoring for Days Gone 2 from the larger gaming community. I know there's the diehards, and that game is great, but it did have its problems. So could it get a sequel? Yeah, I could see it getting one, and I think it would definitely benefit from having a second chance, but I don't think Sony's in a rush to make that game.
And I don't really know if the core audience of PlayStation is all that interested in playing another biker game, because look, if there's any complaint I'll give about that game, I just don't like the aesthetic. I don't think the biker aesthetic is really going to lend it very well to anything. So,
yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to probably be going back to like Siphon Filter or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Any other predictions that you think we're going to see at this show?
I mean, outside of like Sony properties, I couldn't tell you. That's where I get into the things like, again, like, you know, a Final Fantasy 16 or a Hogwarts Legacy or something like that. You know, then you just go way out there and be like, okay, Square, where's the Chrono game? Like, then we just get into that realm. You never know. Maybe a Persona 6 is something that, you know, gets at least like teased a little bit because that's been a big system seller for Sony. So who knows? But without like really diving too deep into like supposed rumors that have no credence whatsoever, it's just I have no idea. I think that's why I'm like at least interested in this one, because there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of open time where there could be a lot of games that we just don't expect. So it could definitely be a really cool show just for the fact that we don't really know what's going to be there.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said, I really hope that this is big and something exciting. Do you think Deathloop is going to show up again?
That would be funny. I hope not.
I literally hope, just for like thematically, it's just Deathloop and it's the same trailer again.
I mean, it would make sense. That's kind of the game's shtick, you know?